Yo, what is going on, you guys? So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the biggest shift that is happening in the hobby right now, probably the biggest shift in the last decade at least, and what I see happening right now that's going to change the immediate future in the sports card hobby. But before we get into that, I did want to say, as you guys know, this week's giveaway is a Jason Tatum Prism PSA 9. It will be shipped to the winner of the giveaway. If you would like to enter, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, comment the word done, and those three simple steps will enter you into a chance to win the Jason Tatum Prism PSA 9. So make sure to go ahead and enter if you want a free chance. But without further ado, we are going to hop right into the video. So essentially what is happening right now is that Fanatics is starting its takeover of the hobby. And what I mean by takeover, I do not mean that as a bad word. I mean that as in they are making a lot of changes in the hobby. They're coming out with big news. They're doing big things. They're hiring new people. And a lot of these moves that I'm going to be breaking down are likely going to have a big impact on you, whether you're collecting, investing, flipping, you own a company in the space, you own a LCS, whatever it is, you are going to, a lot of this stuff is going to change based on this news. So the first big thing, of course, we saw them hire a Red Bull executive and the Clutch Sports head of basketball. A lot of big names are entering into the Fanatics Collectibles team. And the Fanatics Collectibles team is currently taking shape. They've been consistently hiring. And we continue to see announcements of new big names very successful people who've had success in all different industries with big companies like executives, head of basketball for Clutch Sports, as I mentioned. A lot of these big names who have a lot of athlete relationships, a lot of business experience. A lot of these people are coming in to form the core team of Fanatics Collectibles. And so all these sports cards, everything that they're doing in sports cards is relating to that. This is the team that's going to be in charge. And I think, me personally, I'm very excited about the people they've brought on board. Of course, a lot of people such as the Clutch Sports head of basketball have a lot of, athlete connections. And in general, we saw Michael Rubin, the CEO of Fanatics, the founder of Fanatics. He was at the Philly Card Show very recently. He brought guys like Tyrese Maxey, Devontae Smith, Tobias Harris, a lot of key players in Philadelphia sports. He brought them to the card show to do signings and, learn about the hobby. So there's a lot of things happening right now that are very exciting for me personally as an investor. I know there's a lot of collectors out there who are scared of these changes. Fanatics also did mention that they're going to have a new product release that is going to be the biggest change in the last 10 years in the sports card hobby. So we could potentially see a lot of big things happen. Of course, they are starting with baseball releases, and they're going to market that. And then down the line, we are hopefully going to see Topps Chrome Basketball make a return, which I think is going to be huge. And on top of that, they're right now negotiating with LeBron James to get his autos back in. We haven't seen LeBron autos for so long, and we're likely going to see them make a return, which is going to be incredibly exciting. But the biggest takeaway I personally have is that they are bringing a lot of athletes into the hobby already. Michael Rubin has himself, not only Fanatics, has all the licenses and has all the athlete connections, but Michael Rubin himself is taking the time out to bring a lot of these athletes to shows, to introduce them into the hobby. And I think that is going to be a major, major place of distribution in terms of getting this sports card market out there. And I think giving athletes a REV share, a revenue share of whatever sports cards of theirs sell, I think that is going to be incredibly crucial, because we saw with NBA Top Shot, for example, when athletes got a percentage of that, they were going ham on marketing NBA Top Shot out to the public. They were tweeting about it, making Instagram posts about it. And I think we could see the similar things happen with sports cards. When we see athletes do breaks, when we see athletes just have more of an involvement in the hobby, because they can also financially benefit from the hobby. And I think these are going to be crucial things that may seem small right now, but I think down the line, the marketing that Fanatics is bringing in alone, regardless of product release, regardless of what they do with pop counts, I think that the marketing is going to further the hobby tenfold. If you ask me, in terms of the potential that we've really scratched, if you look at the amount of people spending money on sports and collecting their favorite teams' jerseys, whatever it is regarding their favorite teams, other collectibles that they purchase through Fanatics. If you look at how small a percentage sports cards are of, what people spend collecting their favorite teams, I think we have, a long runway ahead of us. I think it's just the start in terms of, how many people are in the hobby, how many people respect the hobby, know about the hobby, especially sports fans, which I think are the easiest people to market to because they are spending money collecting in just a different facet without even thinking about investing as well and holding up value. For example, if you buy a jersey of Steph Curry, while it's a cool collectible, it's not going to hold value in the long term. It doesn't have investment potential. But if you're buying a sports card of Steph Curry, it does have investment potential, and it's a cool collectible that you can put up in your room. So I think there's a lot of different things. Of course, I'm not comparing jerseys to sports cards. You can wear jerseys. It's a necessity. Clothing is a necessity. Sports cards is not. But I'm giving you guys a general kind of idea of how I see sports cards fitting into culture and sports culture in general. And I can tell you one thing is that Fanatics is really going to have a lot of marketing spend. They've already got a fan base of tens of millions of users, hundreds of millions of users around the world that know about, that buy stuff from them already, that maybe don't know about sports cards yet. And I think when they market that to that audience, we're going to see a great amount of them get into sports cards. And I think athletes in general need to be one of the key vocal points in terms of getting the hobby out there. I think, we're making all these trades, making all this, money about athletes, but if they are not involved, it's tough for the sports card market to grow globally like we do want it to. And I think with Fanatics coming in, they're the perfect partner to bridge the gap between collectors, investors, and athletes themselves. And I think they're already starting to do a good job of that. And I think what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, the announcement we've seen, the involvement with Michael Rubin and Fanatics in general has been incredibly exciting for investors, at least. I know collectors are afraid that prices may get to the point where they do not, it's tougher for them to collect, I would say. And I do totally understand that point of view. And I'm very empathetic towards collectors who just want a small hobby to where they can collect what they want for reasonable prices. But to be honest, regardless of whether you like it or not, I do see it going the other way right now. That is what I personally see. I'm personally always a collector at heart. I've been collecting, since I was 10 years old, and I definitely understand the collector's side. The fact that it may not be what it was before, but I still think, there's going to be enough product for collectors as well with Fanatics coming in. I think there's going to be more products released, higher pop counts, but at the same time, I think the amount of people who are exposed to the industry and who get into the industry is going to far outpace the amount of product they release. That is my personal guess as to what's going to happen. Of course, no one has the crystal ball, but that is what I personally see happening, and I think for me at least, it is very exciting to see the sports card market become loved by many more people. I know the original people in the hobby want to keep it to themselves, and I definitely understand that. I'm empathetic towards that, but I do think, any good thing should be shown to the world and should be, enjoyed by the world. And I think we're going to get a lot more shows. I've already talked to a lot of show guys who set up shows, right? They're talking about expanding to different countries, based on how Fanatics is going to market. And I think that is going to be another big thing that we see, international shows. I think shows are probably the best way for, the word of mouth to spread. When you have a big show coming to a city, a lot more people are aware of it. A lot more people can go to the show, and that's probably the best way to dive into the hobby. I always tell new people who want to get into sports cards, first thing you should do, head out to shows. You're going to be around people who are interested in sports cards, talking about sports cards. You get to see sports cards. You get to see prices. You get to see deals go down. It's the best way to get into sports cards. And I think that show promoters starting to look overseas to create new shows. I think that is going to be another huge thing for the hobby. So this video is really to just share with you guys my personal excitement for what's to come. I know a lot of people have mixed emotions, mixed feelings about it, so I'm happy to hear you guys out in the comment section below. Let me know how you guys personally feel about Fanatics coming in, about shows becoming worldwide, about collectors and investors starting the fan base overall for sports cards growing worldwide. But I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment the word done below once again to enter into the Jason Tatum Prism giveaway. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.